The Secret Door to Success, Florence Scovel Shinn. Bricks Without Straw. Chapter 2. Bricks without straw is a phrase which refers to a task which must be undertaken without the appropriate resources. Bricks made without straw would easily break and crumble. In addition to aiding in the drying, the linear nature of the straw adds stability to the clay bricks in much the same way that rebar or wire mesh reinforces modern-day concrete. Bricks made without straw would easily break and crumble. There shall be no straw given to you, yet ye shall make bricks without straw. Exodus 5:18. In the 5th chapter of Exodus, we have a picture of everyday life. We're giving you a metaphysical interpretation. The children of Israel were in bondage to the Pharaoh, the cruel taskmaster ruler of Egypt. They were kept in slavery, making bricks, and were hated and despised. Moses had orders from the Lord to deliver his people out of bondage. Moses and Aaron went in and told the Pharaoh, "Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast with me in the wilderness." The Pharaoh not only refused to let them go, but told them he would make their task even more difficult. Now they must make bricks without straw being provided for them. It was impossible to make bricks without straw. The taskmaster of the people went out and spoke to the people to say, "Thus saith Pharaoh, that I will not give you straw. Go ye, get your straw where you can find it, yet not out of your work shall be diminished." It was impossible to make bricks without straw, and now he is saying, yes, go try to find your own straw, but don't let it interfere with your work. The children of Israel were completely crushed by Pharaoh. They were beaten for not producing the bricks. And then came a message from Jehovah. "Go therefore now and work, for there shall be no straw given to you, yet shall be delivered the tale," or the number of bricks required. Using spiritual laws correctly meant they could accomplish seemingly impossible tasks. Judge not by appearance. How often in life are people confronted with this situation? Agnes M. Lawson wrote in her Hints to Bible Students, "The life of Egypt under the foreign oppressor is the symbol of the man under the hard taskmasters of the destructive thinking, pride, fear, resentment, ill will, etc. The deliverance from the taskmaster comes as he learns the spiritual laws, the task of life. He can never come under grace without being in relationship with a higher power until he first knows and practices the law. Learn the law in order to be fulfilled. In Psalm 111, we read the final verse, "The fear of the Lord, law, is the beginning of wisdom. All that do his commandment shall be praised forever." If we read the word Lord as law, it will give us the key to the statement. The fear of karmic law, the beginning of wisdom. It is not the fear of the Lord. When we know whatever we send out comes back, we begin to be afraid of our own boomerangs. The Pharaoh dealt with his own boomerang. It was revealed by Lord Monaghan at a lecture in Leeds that the Pharaoh of the oppression suffered from the hardening of the arteries. He had a hardening of the heart in a literal sense. Calcium salts had deposited in the walls of his heart, making it rigid and inelastic. His heart was so hard, the vessel gave way. So Pharaoh's hardness of heart hardened his own heart. And this is true today as it was several thousand years ago. When coming out of the land of Egypt, out of slavery, your doubts, fears keep you in bondage to the taskmasters in your life. You will be forced to make bricks without straw. You will not have the resources you believe you need. But remember, affirming the words of Jericho, "Go there now and work, for there shall be no straw given you. Shall ye deliver the tale, the number of bricks? You shall make bricks without straw. God makes a way when there is no way. I was told the story of a woman who needed money for rent. It was necessary to have it at once, but she knew of no channel. She exhausted every avenue. However, she was a truth student and kept making her affirmations. God makes a way when there is no way. Her dog was whining and wanted to go out. She put on the leash and walked down the street in the accustomed direction. However, the dog started to pull at the leash and wanted to go in a different direction. She followed, and in the middle of the block she looked down and picked up a large roll of money, which was the exact amount that she needed to cover her rent. God makes a way when there is no way. The unexpected happens. My seemingly impossible good now comes to me. It comes to pass. This affirmation stops all argument from the army of the aliens, the reasoning mind that is shouting out and reminding you of all of your fears and doubts. The unexpected happens. My seemingly impossible good now comes to pass. It comes to me. I have the idea of security. To have the idea of security, health, happiness, and abundance established in the subconscious mind would be the kingdom which Jesus Christ spoke of, where all things are automatically added unto us. I say automatically added unto us because all life is a vibration, and when we vibrate to a level of success, happiness, and abundance, the things which symbolize these states of consciousness will attach themselves to us. Feel rich and successful, and suddenly you will receive a large sum of money or receive a beautiful gift. I tell the story showing the working of this law. I went to a party where people played games, and whoever won received a gift. The prize was a beautiful fan. Among present was a very rich woman who had everything. Her name was Clara. The poorer and more resentful ones at the party got together and whispered, "I hope Clara doesn't get the fan." Of course, Clara won the fan. Why? Because Clara was vibrating abundance. Envy and resentment short-circuit your vibration. Harden your heart like the Pharaoh. Resentment is like drinking poison, then hoping it will kill your enemies. If you ever feel resentment, affirm this statement: what God has done for others, He now does for me, and more. Neutralize your resentment. Neutralize the poison that is in your system. No man gives to himself but himself, and no man takes away from himself but himself. I say, if it is to be, it is up to me. The game of life is a game of solitaire. As you change, all conditions will change. Let's circle back to the Pharaoh, the oppressor. No one loves the oppressor. I remember a friend I had many years ago. Her name was Letty. Her father had plenty of money and supplied her mother and herself with food and clothes, but no luxuries. We went to art school together, and all the students would buy reproductions of The Winged Victory, Whistler's Mother, or something to bring art into their homes. My friend's father called these things plunders. He would say, "Don't bring home any plunder." She lived a colorless life without a Winged Victory on her bureau or a Whistler's Mother on her wall. He would say often to my friend and her mother, "When I die, both of you will be well off." One day someone said to Letty, "When are you going abroad?" All of the art students went abroad. She applied cheerfully, "Not until Papa dies." This is a good reminder. People remember the way you treat them. People look forward to being free from the Pharaoh who imposes lack and oppression. If you have been a slave to a tyrant of negative thinking, doubts, fears, or apprehensions, you no longer need to be like Letty saying, "Not till Papa dies." Let's detoxify the poison out of our system and find the thought, the limiting belief that is your great oppressor. It is time to find the Kingpin. In the logging camps in the spring, The logs are sent down the river in great numbers. Sometimes the logs become crossed and create a log jam. The loggers are looking for the log jams, the log that is causing the jam, and they call that the kingpin. They straighten it out, and the logs begin to rush down the river again. Maybe your kingpin is resentment. Resentment holds back your good. The more you resent, the more you will have to resent. The kingpin blocks the flow and allows things to move easily and effortlessly. If you do not clear that kingpin, a habit of resentment will be formed. You are setting up your karma to show up for you, and you will be avoided. You will miss the golden opportunities which await for you each day. I remember a few years ago the streets were filled with men selling apples. They got up early to get the good corners. I passed one several times on Park Avenue. He had the most disagreeable expression I've ever seen. As people passed, he would say, "Apples, apples," but no one would stop by. I invested in an apple and said, "You're never going to sell apples unless you change your expression." He replied, "Well, that guy over there took my corner." I said, "Never mind about the corner. You can sell apples right here if you look pleasant." He said, "Okay, lady." And I went on. And the next day I saw him. His whole expression had changed. He was doing a big business selling apples with a smile. And your logs of success and happiness and abundance will begin to flow. Your abundance will start rushing downstream, and you will be river running. So when you feel that you are lacking the resources you need, 1, find your kingpin. 2, if resentment is your kingpin, then it is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies. Know that you can build bricks without straw. You can face off with your taskmasters because most of them are the poison you have been drinking. 3, put a smile on your face. Find your corner. Attract people to you because you are vibrating abundance. Now go sell your apples, and so it is.